No man do they call me, my mother and my father, and all my comrades as well. Hey everybody, No Man here, and I was planning on doing a Kevon Jones stream uh, today, and try to put some levity on the situation. And maybe if I'm feeling better as the stream goes along, we'll do Kevon Jones. But hearing the news about if the Emperor had a text to speech device uh, really took the wind out of my sails. So, holy cow, we have 28 people in here at 44 seconds in. Um, hey, everybody, I'm going to pop out chat because normally I don't pop out chat until people show up so I can actually see what people are saying. Oh, my goodness, that's a lot of people. Um, hey, everybody. Um, so I actually want to try to let's get all of the, like, right now I feel sad. um I know some people are feeling angry at GW. I'm actually like a little bit tearing up right now, because like it's been kind of everything. It's like losing TTS itself, like hearing how much stress AlphaBusa has been through, and like that he's had a kid and that there's like all of this stuff that's going on. And I also went on his Patreon and saw the two available clips of the upcoming episode, and it's really good, and it like stops at a pretty crazy cliffhanger. So it is free on his Patreon. I would encourage you to support AlphaBusa because I think there is some good news out of it, that a lot of people have been coming out in support of Alpha's work, and he's gotten a huge kick to his Patreon. And I think that is, if he can really get that working for him and get that steady income from Patreon, he might be able to. He posted something that indicated he might be able to get back to uh, producing animations. Just not going to be. I'm gonna. I haven't signed up yet, but I'm gonna do that once this stream's over. But I wanna support him as well. Um, but let's talk. I'm gonna talk about like what it meant for me, what TTS meant for me, um, like how important it was for me in the fandom. And we in chat, you can definitely share. We're gonna kind of get out the feels here. We're gonna have some Space Marine tiers going on. Some Necron tiers, some Orc tiers. Um, I think maybe even the Drukhari might be a little sad at this, even though they were the butt of a lot of jokes in TTS. Um, and then I want to go on to some positive stuff and like things that we can do, to support AlphaBusa, and then um, also to see what we can do about uh, talking to Games Workshop and seeing if they can alter how they want to handle protecting their IP. Um, and a lot of people are really angry. If and Some people might be worried about uh, my channel. This is my plan. If what happens to me if my channel gets all of the Warhammer stuff removed, then I continue doing my stories, just scrubbing all of the trademark stuff, because all of GW stuff is just reskin stuff from other sci-fi things and just all kind of lumped together. That doesn't mean I don't like the setting of 40K, but like it's easy to transfer to a generic sci-fi setting. And I said this in my video. If I have to turn Og the Ogren into Og the Ogre, I'm willing to do that and just keep going on that. So Um, but I want to I want to remember the good times and like talk about what TTS really meant for me. Yeah, I think some people are angry and some people are sad. I am like, I've been mad at GW before for doing certain things, but like this is the first time I've been like actually pretty sad because I was pretty emotionally invested in like TTS. Um, and it was unfortunate that it shut down, but like what really made it really unfortunate was Alpha's post about it, that he just felt he couldn't do this. So because of the, as he put it, the sword of Damocles hanging over his head. But um, if the Emperor uh, had a text to speech device, um, it really got me back into Warhammer, and it also made me interested in the Imperium. Um, when I first got into Warhammer, it was through um, Dawn of War, and I really liked, and I played the first Dawn of War, and I played a little bit of the second Dawn of War, but it was just like weird, and I didn't own it. It was a friend's that had it, and I was like, no, this is kind of weird, meh. And I really got into orcs through Dawn of War because I thought War Boss Gorguts was hilarious, and it like really made the setting come to life for me. Um, and I was like less enthused about other groups. I kind of thought Necrons were sort of neat, and I liked the Guard, but the idea of the Imperium itself wasn't that interesting. I was kind of like meh, eh. I didn't really care about Chaos. I didn't really care about the Imperium. I didn't really care about the Emperor of Mankind. I sort of knew a little bit about it, but like I didn't know anything about the Primarchs or like a bunch of the lore about the Imperium until Emperor had a text to speech device, started doing stuff, and like kind of embraced all of the dumb stuff that's in the setting that is technically still canon. And also, and then like turning into something like doing funny stuff, but also doing stuff that like is very heartfelt and emotional. Um, hey everybody, this is currently the largest stream I've had, so I hope everyone's down to listen to me be sad about the loss of TTS. Um, and you know, it's kind of starts off with being kind of the exposition of the setting. And as AlphaBusa and his team got better voice, he got really good voice actors, he got better animating, he started introducing a lot of interesting elements, like having the Primarch start showing up again, and just explaining a lot of the lore is they're being silly about it, but a lot of the lore is like it made me interested to like learn more about things and seeing all the different units and like it's like TTS made me like so much of what the fandom is right now is quoting TTS. Like that's such a that's such a strange thing. Like everyone, like one of the things that people say in my stories, you know, when I brought Og the Ogren back, which I'm going to continue to do, and I'm going to keep doing stuff until Games Workshop makes me stop. If they come after me, whatever. I'm getting a degree. This is not going to be the thing I rely on for my income. This is just helping me not work at a restaurant for a little while. Um, but um, but just everyone's when I brought back Og, just comment after comment after comment of Og lives, stomp stomp, Gallus lives, stomp stomp. All of this stuff. There's just a ton of things that are, you know, their characterization of Rogel Dorn. The fact that a huge portion of the online fandom doesn't know that canon Rogel Dorn doesn't have the mutton chops. Like their influence on the setting is huge. On the fandom is huge. Um, I don't think everyone's subscribed to them, but I think most Warhammer fans that do things on YouTube have seen the Emperor text to speech. Some people have fallen off and they lost interest in it, but a lot of us really stuck with it. Yeah, a lot of people are saying TTS helped them learn about. Yeah, TTS taught me almost all my lore. TTS helped me learn about 40K. Like that was kind of the thing. Is I've looked at the best content about Games Workshop's IP doesn't come directly from Games Workshop. It's like a lot of their games, like Space Marine and Dawn of War, they're made by a third party company that kind of knows something about making games, and but the stuff that really has made me really invested in it has been fan content. I really like there are definitely things that exist that are good lore. I mean, if there wasn't anything good in the regular lore, you know, why would anybody get invested in it? You have like Gaunt's Ghosts. Holy mackerel, Old Man Skeletal. Personally, TTS was my first brush with Warhammer. I started watching almost 5 years ago, I think. Wasn't a massive fan at first, but I liked it. My love for it only grew and grew as it went from being a lore dump with jokes to a full-on story word limit. Yeah, that's. I think that's pretty much every. So thank you a lot for the support, Old Man Skeletal. Thank you for the super chat. And I definitely appreciate those words because I think that is most people's experience with TTS is it felt like everything opened up. It was like the whole universe of 40K, the whole galaxy suddenly became like interesting, and then like the parts that weren't good became funny. Like, oh man, what's the other joke that Cato Sicarius? Their characterization of Cato Sicarius is so funny. Is so funny. You just have Cato Sicarius show up in other videos, and people will start laughing. Oh man, it's so, it's I, Cato Sicarius. Oh man, it's wee. Oh man, so much Caldor Drago. Their bizarre characterization of him. Have you ever eaten a tangerine? So, oh yeah, their characterization of Lucius. Hey everybody, hey gal pals. Like that makes him. It's funny because their characterization of Lucius is simultaneously funny and is also weirdly more threatening than lore Lucius. My beard is filled with tiny men. Oh man. So yeah, I really enjoyed TTS. I had a lot of fun with it, and it is. I thought they were kind of big. I thought they were kind of immune because they were a parody. They'd been going on for a long time, and they had a big following. Um, I like I. It I thought they weren't going to be touched, and it just made it clear that the the situation of all fan content is tenuous, because if you use anything that GW has, they can copyright strike your stuff. Um, so yeah, they could shut me down, but don't worry about me. Like this is really nice. Like this helps me do a lot of things that I like. Um, well, the thing about YouTube. So this is the way YouTube works when it comes to copyright stuff. If you're a small channel and a big company says I want to copyright that, they'll just do it. They're gonna demonetize your video or revenue share with the big. They're gonna have the company gain all the revenue for your stuff. If you get big enough, which is generally at least the rule is you hit 100,000 subscribers, and then you can actually talk to somebody. You're big enough that they send you the plaque, and you're big enough that you can actually get a hold of somebody because there's too many people. YouTube cannot manage the literally billions of videos that are on here without bots and automated response services. Maybe there's a way they can do it better, and it's unfortunate the way it works, but I also like understand why they have it work this way. Goodness, 64 people. I've never had a stream this big. This is still crazy. But basically, you need to get a certain size, and I definitely know YouTube goes to bat for creators that have more than 1 million subscribers that get hit with bogus copyright claims. They once you hit 1 million, I've definitely known people who have done things that were they have used content there's fair use, and the way they were using it fell under fair use, and YouTube goes to bat for you if you're big enough. I'm going to keep going on, and like I said, if they shut me down, the worst thing, I don't have any money, they can't sue me for a lot, they can shut me down. The very, very worst thing that can happen is they shut down my channel, but that's unlikely because I'm a small fish. They haven't completely shut down any channels, but they have removed 40K content from, like, Soda's still exists, but all of his 40K stuff is taken down. So, all right, I think there's a lot I could talk about TTS forever. I could just talk about why I really like it, why I like Kitten, why the 3 idiot custodies, the Fab Stodies, why they suddenly got characterization, why I'm all about why I really like Boy, who didn't have a character before, the one random guy who, my mind is an unguarded fortress, like that guy, he like has a character arc. Like, why do I care about all these people? Why'd you make me care? But let's talk about what we can do. So if you go to the Games Workshop website and you scroll down to the bottom, it's at the bottom left, there is a complaint portal. So I would, first of all, go register your complaint. When you're registering your complaint, be clear about like, hey, I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that was created by fans, and it made me really want to purchase your products. And now that these are being shut down, I don't want to purchase products. Or like, I was considering buying Warhammer Plus, and now I'm not. Whatever, like, try to be honest about like what you guys actually what this has actually impacted you to do. And also try to not mention creators by name. Like, we don't want to make it seem like we're sending people out to go, and also don't harass GW employees. Try to go where we want to get the people who are in charge. We want them to hear our complaints, and we want to make it clear to GW that fan content makes them money. That, I mean, I am not. I said this in my video. I'm a small, comparatively small Warhammer creator. I've had a nice kick. I just got above 10,000. I'm getting close to 13,000. That's really cool. I got a couple videos have gone viral, but I'm not that big. But I have a sneaking suspicion that people have spent more money on GW merchandise, on buying like models inspired by me. Like, people were saying, I'm gonna build a Necron army based on Merritt Neath from The Price of Eternity. I want to get an Ogren squad. I want to make an Og and Gallus group. I want to, I want to do a Sergeant Lazarus Lamenter thing. Like, people have said this. It's like I I don't make that much money, relatively speaking. Like I can get by. This is I'm doing okay. Uh, but I bet Games Workshop has made more money off of what I've done here than I have. Though it's hard to pinpoint that. I suspect. I got no proof, but I very much suspect. Um, so yeah, the as far as yeah, I would say the make the complaints clear, and so they basically can tie the we want to make it very clear to GW the cause and effect of the downturn in their business. So if people are gonna boycott, um, like I don't even feel like I don't think of what I'm doing as a boycott. I feel like I am like disappointed. I'm like too sad to want to patronize them. It's like you hurt my you hurt AlphaBusa. I don't want to do this. You shut down sodas. Um, I just can't do it. Um, I like don't have it in my heart. Uh, so yeah, I think you go to the website now. Like do it now. You can keep my stream going on in the background. Open up a new tab. Nothing changes. It's just my terrible printed picture of my avatar with the ink that's running out in my printer upstairs. Um, Nothing's going to change. But yeah, go register a complaint. Tell them specifically what's going on. That tell them how important content has been. Um, Again, without being specific, but how much that has fed your interest in their product, and how much like I know a ton of people who their introduction to 40K was uh, was TTS. So um, so yeah, the other thing to do so that's what I would do for GW. Complain and make it clear that you're not buying their products because of their policy regarding their IP, how they want to handle their IP. Because there's definitely companies that aren't iron fist about how they share things. Like Major Kill, I think, just said something akin to like Disney is not this hard on people that use their IP, and Disney's iron fisted about their IP. They forever defend their IP tooth and nail, tooth and nail. Um, yeah, that's what I've heard is they are trying to eliminate uh, for free online animations so that they can funnel everything to that demand to Warhammer Plus. And I was considering getting Warhammer Plus because I wanted to see animations, and I said this in my video what I thought they were going to do, which was apparently giving GW too much credit. And I will admit I haven't looked into everything about the situation closely, but um, I thought what they were going to do was basically uh, find high level talent on YouTube and and kind of bring them into Warhammer Plus, which is they sort of were doing, but and I don't know because everyone that signed up for it has a non-disclosure agreement, so they don't talk about it. But with the way they're handling things now, and with sodas being shut down, I'm worried that there's like it's not like, hey, come join us, bring your creative mind, like let's have this nice fan interaction, and that more that it's arm twisting. But I don't know because they've signed non-disclosure agreements. So um, if GW tries to take everything off, then they're they are causing problems for themselves. But the other thing I suggest you do is I have it linked in the description of this stream, to go to AlphaBusa's Patreon and and support him. That's I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to go join his Patreon and try to support whatever creative stuff he's trying to do next. Because it's just he has he's funny, and I like his stuff, and his animation style is like weird and blubby and has its own quality that makes things funny. Like that you have these big clunky dudes in heavy armor that are like bending around and being silly. Um, the um, but yeah, definitely, and give some words of support to Alpha. You know, comment on uh his latest his comment on his hiatus video. Um, heck, rewatch the old stuff, you know, for old time's sake. Uh, let's try to if they can't do Warhammer stuff, you know, let's try to support them creatively some other way. Um, if you go check out, someone said that AlphaBusa's parody GW can't do crap to him. Maybe when it comes to YouTube, like YouTube doesn't have to nail you for copyright stuff. Um, it's like if you're small potatoes enough, they'll just shut you down. Um, if you're big enough, YouTube will go to bat. If you make enough money for YouTube, YouTube will defend you legally. Now, AlphaBusa is pretty big. He's pretty big, and he if GW wanted to go hard at him for parody, the YouTube legal team might have his back. But but AlphaBusa already went into it in his original video of why he didn't want to put a crap ton of effort into making Warhammer content, because his animations take a really, really long time because they get more and more elaborate. That he's putting all of this effort into it, and this is his livelihood that he's relying on. And if GW brings up a copyright suit, and for him, he either has to immediately acquiesce or he has to fight it in court, which is extremely stressful and can take years and can be a giant problem, even if it's a fairly clear-cut case. Because that's just the way, you know, a big company with lots of money and versus a guy that, you know, makes a modest living off of this, he's not going to be able to. If they choose to shut him down, he doesn't want to fight it. And I think people, I think this was the straw that, yeah, see, people have said this is the straw that broke the camel's back, that this really, because I was bummed that sodas stopped, but I wasn't clear on all what happened. I thought there was some issue with contract, and I thought GW was probably being a problem, but it might have been, I don't know. Like it wasn't an outright outpouring of sadness the way this one is, where it's clear that GW has taken a firm stance against fan animations, that they now have a zero tolerance policy. Um, so someone said YouTube won't support him no matter what he earns. If the originator IP makes a claim, YouTube does not stick their neck out for anyone. I have seen them stick their neck out for people. Um, if somebody makes a bogus copyright claim against a big time creator, YouTube does have a legal team, and they do deal with that. I've seen it a couple times. I don't know off the top of my head which creators, but I know, I know of some I don't want to bring names into it either, but there have been big, like, million subscriber type channels that have been sued for copyright stuff when they were using something in that correctly under the terms of fair use, and the YouTube legal team helped them out. So it's what I would absolutely encourage people to do, because what I think is really tempting is to get really emotional, really worked up, really angry, and kind of burn yourself out on the internet being mad about it. Like, I'm cool. Like, I think it's good. Like, I am getting a lot of my own feelings out right now, about the situation. Uh, but what tends to happen when a company does something that's really upsetting to a fandom, the fans get mad, um, and sometimes they stay consistently mad. They stay, like, I think the Star Wars fans have been mad for a long time, um, and have been. I think the Disney has been bleeding their fandom. Uh, but I think frequently people will get mad about something and kind of burn out their anger, and then maybe they'll go back to it, maybe they won't. But there's not a ton of things that change about that the company changes. I'm just a little guy. I don't think there's a ton I can do, but I'm gonna do what I can. Um, I wanna encourage people to support AlphaBusa, and I want to encourage people to make your objections clear, uh, to Games Workshop. And when you contact them, do your best to sound like an adult with lots of money. uh, I know the urge to, like, kind of Fortnite rage at them, uh, is really tempting, to basically send a string of expletives at them. Uh, but I think they will not respond well to something like that. I think if you're like, hi, longtime fan, and now I'm done. Um, Now, like, again, I don't know. I was thinking more. It was because of fan content that I thought GW was turning over a new leaf. I thought GW was, like, learning how to manage, kind of how to protect their IP, but also take advantage of social media and fan hype, like grassroots fan hype. Um, because when I first started making content, like, I kind of started, I got more into lore YouTube. I started following Voldemort. Um, uh, Major Kill has started producing content I really like. Um, Luton, and just, there's a ton of people that do really good stuff that I like. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And this is not something that Games Workshop has come down on. Um, that they haven't come down on this, and it's like, okay, this is, maybe they're, like, learning how to kind of use fan material to let the fans promote their brand for them. Um, but sweet, sweet, sweet. I think this is going to backfire. I think people were like, so this is the way I think they make Warhammer Plus work. They make it work by, you don't take down a bunch of stuff. You grant special permission for the people. You basically get whatever talent you want from YouTube, and basically make this deal with them. You keep all of your stuff. You keep it monetized. You give special permission for people that they approve of to continue producing the content. And if people are too small, like, you deal with them when they get big enough to be of notice. And some content, there might be some policing of content if there's like, there might be some policing of content, but I think the best thing you do is leave all of that content up. Don't take off Soda's videos. Don't take away Astartes, which is the freest advertising GW has ever gotten, because it's great. Astartes is so good. And then you basically bring the creative people on board to do Warhammer Plus, and then you leave all of the stuff that's already been created up, and you make that a teaser for the stuff you're going to have in Warhammer Plus. Of like, we're not going to give these people, these artists are now going to have, they're going to make a living doing this. They're going to have support. They're going to have resources, and they're going to have our support to like create stuff in 40K. But they didn't do that. From what it sounds like, they are kind of taking a truncheon to YouTube. I think the way GW makes money is by I think what you do is you kind of treat the Warhammer 40,000 setting as your IP, and you do a lot of things with it that isn't just a board game. That isn't just a tabletop game. Like, keep the tabletop aspect, but like expand, do more video game stuff, which it seems like they're trying to do. Make potentially animated movies that are not Space Marine. 2010 was it that came out? But yeah, we have 83 people on here. This is a lot of people for this stream. But yeah, DeWay, you mind chilling out on that? I saw you doing this about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, just chill out on the stomp. Yeah, the Ultramarines movie. That's what it is. Ultramarines movie is goofy. All right. Sorry, DeWay. You did it again. I'm put you on timeout. It's not. Don't take it personal. But as far as what I intend to do, and I said what I plan to do myself, I'm going to keep going. If GW comes down hard on me and I have to delete all my stuff, I'm going to continue. I'm just going to continue without losing a beat. I'm going to keep. I don't have any characters in my story that are GW owned characters. I can keep the names. I just would have to change the setting enough so it's not just one for one, beat for beat Warhammer 40K. But most of my stories are not heavily dependent on Warhammer stuff. Like, most of my stories are not super lore dives that require you to understand a whole lot of things. I think Og the Ogryn was the biggest because it involved like the Lamenters and the Inquisition and a bunch of different guard units and Ogryns and Tyranids, and there's just a lot of stuff. But by and large part, a lot of what I'm doing is like character stories and things that what I really like about Warhammer setting is like a lot of the work is done for you. like I don't have to explain everything. Most fans of it, of the setting, know what a, you know, a Kriegsman is, or what a Mordian is, or what, you know, what Terminator armor is. I don't have to. Yeah, Philosopher Orcs is fine. Like all I got to do is like turn the K into a C and stop using Warhammer art, and it'll be fine. Um, yeah, I'm gonna keep. Yeah, Orc philosophy is really simple because I don't think Games Workshop has a copyright on the vague orky mindset. If I just their orcs are kind of unique in the way they're set up, but I think orcs discussing philosophy doesn't meaningfully have to change. Um, but um, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit. I'm feeling better having talked to you guys about it. Um, I hope chat you guys are feeling okay, are feeling a little bit better too. What's the feeling of chat right now? Like we got what we got? We got sad, we got mad, miserable. Not gonna lie, meh. Oh no, they can't. They can't at this point. They can't. They can't create a character named Og and then retroactively uh, penalize me for having my own character. As far as I know, there are no named Ogren characters called Og. Um, so Og is my character. Um, and if he can't exist in Warhammer 40k, he can exist someplace else. Um, I'm disappointed, depression before, mostly mad, um, in higher spirits, but still bleh. Yeah, I'm not feeling great. Like obviously, but I think the shock of it has worn off for me. Um, just being able to talk about this for 40 minutes has been helpful. Um, uh, you don't once your stuff is automatically copyrighted. If you can prove that your character, all you need to do is if you have something that you've created, you don't have to register it anything. You own everything you create, and all you have to do is prove that you created it before somebody else ripped off your thing. That's all you have to do for under most laws. You don't have to do anything uh, to copyright your stuff. If you created it and somebody copies it, you just need to prove that you made it first, and then they got to pay you royalties or they got to stop or whatever. Yeah, but yep. Got Inquisitor Raven coming in for £5. It looks like. Uh, have a beverage on me. Thank you, Inquisitor. I actually think I might. I think I might take a break and make a mimosa. We have mimosa fixings in the house, and it's a little early to have something stronger. But you know, if it's a brunch drink, um, Dewey putting on 20. Sorry for the spam, guys. Just trying to get a thing started. Really hope GW gets their act together. No more spam, promise. Love your videos, no man. I uh I know, like I know where you are, like or I can guess at where you are emotionally, Dewey, and I really appreciate the donation. Um, but like, yeah, we don't get a read on the room. There is a point where it becomes spam. So uh, we're all kind of in a mood today after the news. Holy cow, 94 people, 94 people here. Yeah, we know you don't mean any harm, but like put you on a little timeout. We don't think poorly of you. It's just I think people are also trying to talk and have like a conversation. So I don't know. I kind of feel like if you're repeating the same thing, I don't know, like give it a 5-minute breather in between each one. then I probably don't see it. How many people do I usually get on streams? A busy stream is like mid 40s. So having like getting upper 80s and 90s right now is pretty neat. And I do appreciate the support people have given me so far. But we're gonna see what happens. I know it was sort of this is kind of a thing that is sending ripples through a lot of things. I knew people had been posting stuff about Games Workshop going after animators, which is unfortunate because one of my early people that subscribed to me was Commissar Gurk, Gurke, and he made a bunch of funny stuff. Like I like his stuff. I've been kind of following him, but there's a lot of concern now of like, well, what about people that they're going to have battle reports on Warhammer Plus? Are they going to go after people doing battle reports? They're going to have painting tutorials on Warhammer Plus. Are they going to go after people with painting tutorials? They're going to have lore on Warhammer Plus. Are they going to go after the people that are doing lore stuff? And that's I think people are really shook up because TTS was something I kind of took comfort that was still up. I was like, okay, like this has been up and it's been up for a long time. I don't think GW is going to bring down the hammer on everyone. They might pull some not great stuff, but the whole Warhammer YouTube community is now kind of shook. I'm kind of shook, but again, I'm not in a bad position as far as my needs. So I'm nervous because I'm actually, like I said, I'm doing okay, but I'm kind of nervous for other people who have gone about really dedicating a lot of time and energy into becoming YouTubers, building up a fan base, making good content, doing a lot of work to really get noticed, and kind of are now hitting their own stride. Like Baltimore has hit 100,000. Adeptus Ridiculous is fairly new. Like a lot of people have really come on the scene, and I'm like, and I was kind of excited about the cool things that were happening. That in a lot of ways, Warhammer online content was getting really good. Like the fan content was getting really good. And now it's like, are the brakes going to be put on all of this? Is it all going to go away? Hey, what's going on? Hey, Karzan. We're gonna see what GW does in response, and I think ultimately this is their company. They can do what they want. If they want to shut everything down and use the law to do that, that's up to them. But I think we as the fans need to make it clear what that's going to mean for their bottom line. Yeah, and that's kind of it. That's kind of the whole of it. I just, my heart goes out to the people who, like, if I could shut down now, like this has been like a fun ride that I've gotten like some notice. I've done some things. It's been cool. If I get shut down, that's sad, but I have backup plans. This is not this was never supposed to be my livelihood. But there are people who have found a great deal of success and have been able to get over the hump into making this like what they do. Um, and I know, you know, people have families, people have, you know, people are married and have kids. Um, so it's a hard punch to take to know that to suddenly have, yeah, as Alpha Busa put it, to have the sort of Damocles above your head of at any moment the thing you're relying on for your income, which doing YouTube is already like a dodgy thing as far as income goes. Like the algorithm is so inconsistent, and pretty much if you basically get the way getting YouTube revenue works is you basically you make something that people like, and it kind of sits for a little bit, and then the algorithm picks it up, and boom, it kind of goes. Um, and then a lot of people come in and they might look at other things on your site. You get a lot of subscriptions, you get a lot of views, you get a lot of comments, you get a lot of ad revenue, and then everything kind of tapers off just by the nature of the way the algorithm works. Even people who have notifications turned on for me, uh, in the quiet times, people weren't getting like notifications and stuff. Like so in that way, YouTube is already like a hard thing to turn into a living to make consistent money on. Um, and once people kind of get over that hump and are, you know, 100,000, once they hit kind of the silver range, uh, you're you can make a living at that range. Like I'm sort of making a living, but not like a real job living. If I was living by myself, if I wasn't married and my spouse didn't have a job that was mostly paying for everything, I couldn't do this. Able Knight. Warhammer grew a lot due to fan support and content over the last 7 years, starting with TTS. Now all this content is either being shut down or being put behind a paywall. TTS introduced me to 40K. That's what I've heard to a lot of people. TTS definitely um, got me interested in the setting beyond orcs. Like I sort of knew a bit about, like I knew the surface level stuff of most things. Um, but I think that's Able Knight. I think that's thank you for the donation, and I think that's a very common experience for most people. And as Arian Tar is putting it, um, Arian Tar, not sure, but parody is fair use. Yes, but the thing is, the way YouTube works, if a big company brings a copyright challenge against your stuff, you're basically going to be demonetized until it gets sorted out. Um, and it might not, and YouTube might not go to bat for you if you're not a big enough creator. Um, it's a, and I understand why AlphaBusa, with a kid who's just been born, is saying he can't do it or can't do things the way he's doing them now. Um, and for those of you who are new, I will give the good news. If you go and look at AlphaBusa's Patreon, he has posted since he made his video of sadness, and it does seem like the outpouring of support um, has has uh, has really boosted his Patreon, and he might be able to uh, do animations, continue to make animations, um, but but not going to be using GW IP in any way, even in parody. It's just like I'll give you my example. For those of you who might have heard the parody song I did a parody of the Disney song "I'll Make a Man Out of You," and I did "I'll Make an Orc Out of You." And what I did was I found someone's cover of the song, and I contacted them and got permission to use their version of the song because it is still copyright infringement if you do a parody song but use the music from, like, just rip the Disney instrumental stuff and then put my own audio over it. I'm still using their copyrighted stuff. However, I used somebody else's cover with their permission and then recorded me singing, and it's not a great recording. It's actually poorly timed. Um, but a Disney copyright struck it, and I challenged it because of under fair use. It's a parody. It should be fine. It's not their version of the song, and I used it with permission from somebody else. Uh, YouTube quote reviewed it and still struck it down. So it is what it is. Um, it's good, but Disney makes all the money from it. Um, and it brought people in, and I'm fine. I ain't mad. I'm just not gonna touch Disney stuff ever again. Or at least if I do a parody, I don't know how I would safely do a Disney parody. Um, but you know the old joke: if they copyright strike it, that means it's canon. So uh, I'll make an orc out of you is Disney canon. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I ripped my parody instrumentals from SoundCloud, still did not work, even if the instrumentals are covers. Just don't mess with it. I know because YouTube has to streamline the way, like, YouTube has to basically handle a bunch of legal things because of the nature of the platform and the way things have been kind of evolving now and the way content works. The reaction videos and reviews, and there's a lot of stuff that uses copyrighted material, and YouTube, like, can't put their legal team on every channel side. There's some protection. There's some basic protection for the little guys because I think YouTube basically guarantees that the little guys aren't going to get sued. Like, the little guys aren't going to lose a ton of money, but their stuff will be, like, at least demonetized. All right, see you, Azakamak. I'll see you. Yeah, Disney is probably the I'd say Disney, and also I'd say DC is up there too because technically Mickey Mouse and Superman and Batman have they've been characters that have been around for long enough that their copyright should expire. Because copyright basically lasts for 75 years, at least in the United States. Like, if you wanted to make a Sherlock Holmes movie nowadays, the copyright on that is run out. Eventually, in a few more years, the copyright on on a number of Tolkien's works is going to expire theoretically. Now there now have been changes to laws um, that extend copyright stuff. Um, that extend copyright stuff, but it's not. Uh, yeah, it's a mess. The whole thing's a mess. DeWay coming back with $10. Would have been awesome if you did a collab with TTS. Imagine if Little Kitten met Og. Might have been cool. That was kind of what I wanted to do. Now that I've kind of gotten big enough. Like, I've hit. My goal was hit 10,000, and then start contacting people about collabs. Um, wasn't Alex Adrian Pius? Wasn't the Alex Jones character made TTS canon? Was he? I've never heard anything about that. Are you thinking about are you thinking about Caiaphas Cain? No, Caiaphas Cain's a very old GW character. He's Are you thinking about Caiaphas Cain? Caiaphas Cain is Sandy. It was written by Sandy Miller, and I think the first one was like 2006. Oh, chat just got disconnected. Chat just got disconnected. It's saying it's trying to reconnect me. They're trying to shut us down. They're trying to shut us down. They know the truth. I don't know what to do. They're saying that it is not. Can I pop it in? All right, there we go. Reconnected. Yeah, Caiaphas Cain has a ton of stuff. No. So I get to tell my TTS canon story of the thing that brother AlphaBusa actually commented on one of my videos. It's the second video in the Git Slayer series, because I actually saw his last completed episode. He has 2 segments of episode 30 up on his Patreon, which I definitely advise you to go check out. Link to the Patreon is in the description of the stream. I definitely encourage you to go support him and check it out. But in the second Git Slayer video, if you guys aren't familiar, War Boss Git Slayer's escape from Kamara basically starts off with War Boss Git Slayer escaping from the witch arenas because of the events in episode 29, where the Star Child has his duel with Vect, and all of the Dark City starts melting because of positive energy, and they actually have a thing in TTS where the orcs escape. So I actually had started the Git Slayer story sooner, and he fought a witch and killed her in the fight, but I thought that was a fun little nod to TTS, and have that be the catalyst for their escape, and then everything else that's happening. And in the second video, AlphaBusa, he has a pinned comment on there that he says, "Oh my goodness, this is amazing," or something to that effect. As far as I'm concerned, this is canon. So Git Slayer and Poodle and Krumpa. I don't know if the canon extends all the way through the series, but it is apparently considered canon to some extent by brother AlphaBusa. Excuse me. All right. I actually think I am gonna get a drink and rejoin you guys in just a couple minutes. And I kind of want to. I'll figure out what we want to talk about, but I think we have gone over a fair bit, but I'm still kind of bummed. It's been nice to talk to you guys and like kind of let everything out. It's been nice to have kind of the community talk about it some. All right, I'm gonna go grab a drink. It will be alcoholic. I'll come back. We'll have some fun. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right, I return. I'm back. I guess kind of the takeaway from this is I think there are ways for companies to pursue their own interests and turn fan content into a benefit for them and for to really to increase goodwill between fans and uh, the holders of the owners of the intellectual property, um, but also like use that to take advantage of all of this free press that they get, um, to to really boost their IP. Um, I swear, if we lose any more good creators, I'm flying to their head office and protesting. Um, well, that's kind. I don't think protesting in person is going to be more effective uh, than not giving them money. That's yeah. I still the feeling I have is still like I am disappointed and sad. I like I'm like the wind is still. I still feel like the wind is taken out of my sails. I wanted to do. I was like, you know what'll be nice? I'll do Kevon Jones tomorrow, and we'll have like a funny Tao guy who's gonna talk about our feelings, and we'll be kind of silly today. And I couldn't do it. I was like, it feels like it. The TTS going away is like it's on the scale of finding out that my friend's pet died. Like I feel really bad for them. Like it's really like especially if I knew the pet and like saw it regularly. Like it's like that level of really sad. Um and like unexpected, not like it was an old pet. What do we got from chat? That's ensure I won't buy any other products they sell that I actually buy. Your disappointment is immeasurable and your day is ruined. Kind of like it feels better to talk about it, but it I Alpha's video really hit me hard. Like the just the pain in his voice was palpable. And yeah, it's like you don't when you're doing YouTube stuff, you get kind of attached to people, but there are whole aspects of their lives that you never see. You don't know what they're doing when they're not producing their content, when they're not doing like their work. You don't know much about them or their families or what's going on in their lives. And just to get that little snapshot of what was going on for uh, what was going on for AlphaBusa was just heartbreaking. That he had been working hard on episode 30. He was getting close to releasing it, and but he's got a kid on the way. Well, the kid's there. He has a kid now. Um, Kid's like a couple days old, brand new spanking kid. Um, and just to be making your money on a company that had allowed uh, fan content to exist, and most companies allow fan content to flourish on YouTube. Like there's a ton of now a lot of it's not monetized, um, but most people are fine with that. Like I think see one of the things about them going after animators And so this is an example of YouTube's going to go to bat for them. So you have FlashGits. FlashGits makes the Black Templar versus furry videos, and he makes a lot of other animations too. If GW that what they're doing is a clear parody. What they're if it is clearly absurd and it is clearly parody. No one could confuse that for GW's work. But FlashGits is big enough and also has other stuff on his channel that's probably not going to get taken down or demonetized because it is protected under fair use, and they're big enough that it's worth YouTube's time to do that. If YouTube struck them, I imagine we'd get a hilarious video. Much in this, if anyone's seen their what is it? The Cyberpunk 2077. If you've ever seen the video on them making fun of the owners of that IP, that I imagine we're going to get a similar thing with GW. I think they've already done things where they've horribly made fun of GW, but I bet we're going to get another one. Heck, we might actually get another one of those videos in response to like what's been going on. We'll see what happens. This is a I think with TTS pulling, with AlphaBusa backing out, I think that's going to be a pretty big splash. They did something similar to this to a small fan game on 1D4chan called Chapter Master. Probably had less than a couple hundred people who knew about it, but they still went full ham. Yeah, it's honestly what's the most troubling thing is how erratic GW is about their IP. I don't know. It seems to license its stuff willy nilly to companies that they don't make great products. And then they're incredibly protective of it when somebody makes stuff that's really good. Oh, that video is so fake. Bears in Poland don't look like that at all. Eric Rayner. Eric Rayner is our resident. What is it? Is it Polski? Is that the correct term? I wish I knew Polish. I do not. It is all about the money, but like, it is all about the money, but I think GW is looking at this in a very short-term way. It's like I don't know. It's it's like it's almost caveman like. Me want Warhammer Plus. Warhammer Plus have Warhammer content, but free content on internet must stop free content, without thinking that there's so much hype that's generated by the YouTube content that you can use the YouTube content to produce hype. And if you make sure that you have the best people working for Warhammer Plus and getting paid for it, then you're going to have then the subscription is going to be worth it. I thought I guess I was just really optimistic. I thought Games Workshop was going to do something really smart. I don't know. It seems like all of their decisions, it's like half their decisions are like, this is really, really smart or seems really smart. And then they like backtrack. They like kind of destroy the goodwill. It's like, oh, we're changing things up. We're gonna bring back Primarchs. We're gonna have things change. We're gonna move the story forward. We're not gonna have an endless stalemate that never ends. Things have actually changed, and the setting is shifting. As much as there are things about it that are weird, I still think the Primaris is a very silly idea, but whatever. It's not the silliest thing that has ever existed in the setting. Yeah, I think that's pretty true. Eh, get my sorry, my little sticker thing came loose. But that's kind of what I'm thinking is that Warhammer has been propped up by the fans because people who genuinely love the setting and who genuinely that's what makes their IP and their setting worthwhile is people who have put a lot of love and work to it. So like your Dan Abnetts and your Sandy Millers and people who are talented and dedicated have put in a lot of work to like make the setting come to life for a lot of people. And that's what you have all these great people who make great content for Warhammer 40K and for Warhammer Fantasy and whatever for GW IP stuff, and that makes people think better of GW. Like literally just listening to good people be excited about Warhammer, like listening to Baltimore talk about how wonderful it is to like tell his own stories and how great the setting is and how much fun it is to paint your own miniatures and make your own stories and create your own worlds and really have a wonderful sandbox of grim darkness ridiculous that has kind of been with all kinds of neat stuff to play in it. uh that makes me really like the setting and it makes me feel less hostile towards GW. Like am I like has anybody else felt that? Has anybody else like started to feel better about GW because you had all this neat YouTube fan stuff? All right, see ya, Operation Boxtrot. I get it. We're all going to handle the situation in our own way. I kind of wanted to keep going for a little bit longer, um, but I've just about gotten through what I wanted to rant about. There's also a scenario where they haven't touched lore videos or painting channels as much as those directly lead back to the product, and there's not even anything of a sort for plus either. What do you? I don't quite understand. Yeah, Maniacal Toaster got into. That's another person got into things because of TTS. I had gotten into, like I said, I had gotten into 40K before, but TTS definitely reinvigorated my interest in the setting, and definitely got me to learn a lot more stuff. Uh, a corporation's a corporation. Um, their motivation is to get money, and depending if you have people that are smart, because I think brand recognition and brand loyalty and um, getting along, like having good customer will, is really important um, to express contempt for your customers or to provoke contempt in your customers for you is not a good business model. Um, like you don't want people to look at your company and think this you as a company you do want to consider your customers and like how happy they are with your product and how happy they are with it's just a funny thing. It's like, I think there's a capitalist solution, or at least a market-friendly solution, that doesn't piss everyone off, and I don't think it would be very hard to take that option. So, oh well, it is what it is, and like I said, my heart goes out to people who have built up big time channels and now have to worry about when is GW coming for them. All right, see you, Old Man Skeletal. Thanks for the big donation earlier. I'll see you. Ali Al Abdullah, I feel sad. Yep, I do too. That's why we're all here. And I was singing my this Imperium guy. Well, I'll listen to some sad songs and hopefully feel better about it. But the world will turn, things will go on, and we'll have to deal with Matt Reeves has a good point. Sort of like how video game companies wanted to stop streaming for a while and then realized it was free advertisement. Yeah. This is streaming your video game for you. This is helping create a hype train for your product. That's like the money that fans are making on doing YouTube stuff and Patreon and selling merch and blah blah blah. It's so small. And yeah, you want to protect your IP, and you don't just want to let anybody use it willy nilly. But there are things you can do that aren't this. There are absolutely things that you can do that aren't this. Oh man, Seth, don't make me cry. I mean, Seth Miller? I mean, does Kadia even stand at this point? Oh man, don't. That hurts. That hurts. Yeah, Kitten and the boys. We should all do a binge watch of all the TTS episodes. Absolutely. They're not taken down yet, and I think a big outpouring of support would really help brother AlphaBusa, or AlphaBusa, however it's pronounced. Fandom received just one final message: to resist GW as long as possible with all force, no matter the cost. Let's hope we won't become Krieger. I don't know. Some people are awfully big on shovels. Able Knight puts 10 on it again. Thank you. Animators got hit first because they are few in number and have millions of views each, so they were the perfect target for GW to bring down their heavy hand and centralize 40K content. That seems to be that's what it looks like from what I know. And I will admit, I don't know everything that's been going on. I knew that sodas went down, and I knew when, and I knew that, and I knew what I heard from AlphaBusa's video. And it's just a shame that this is what they decided to do. It's like, oh, there's all this demand for Warhammer animation and content. Your fans created that demand. These creators made the demand for this animation. If you just stuck Warhammer animations out there, if GW wanted to start from square one, I don't think it would work very well. I think they have to build on the goodwill and popularity that the fans have created. I think Warhammer, they're thinking Warhammer Plus is gonna have problems because the fans make content. I think Warhammer Plus succeeds because the fans create a demand for such content. People want more. People always want more stuff. And if some of it's behind a paywall and they put in the effort to make it really good, and you have a bunch of nice incentives to join, Warhammer Plus, which I thought Warhammer Plus was like, okay, I can kind of see this. Okay, maybe this is something I might consider signing up for. Maybe get a few reviews on what the animations were like, hear what people said about it. Was it worth it? Once people had gone in, then I might have gotten in and seen what they were going to do. But I don't think GW understands their fans at all. I think a bunch of their creative people do. I think people who love the setting, I think, do. But that I think their legal team completely missed the mark on how to handle this. I think not enough of their people are communicating. Hopefully something changes. Hopefully there's enough of an outcry that GW does something. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I appreciate the support that has been shown to me. I appreciate the support everyone. Like I think it's really good that people really feel something about AlphaBusa and TTS going down. That this was something that, was a nice little part of our lives. It's, again, the series itself, yeah, but like it's a big part of why I'm doing what I'm doing now. But moving forward, I think we really need to, like, personally, I'm not spending my money with GW anymore. If they want to shut me down, so be it. And I have already sent my word of complaint to them. I suggest you do the same. Go to the Games Workshop website. Go to the complaint portal. It's at the bottom left of their website. And then also do what you can. I highly suggest people join AlphaBusa's Patreon and show him some support, and let's kind of overcome the obstacle, help support him, and help him make a living off of his creative efforts, even if that means he has to work on an outside of the GW IP. So it'll be what it's going to be. Because I honestly think that I think there are fandoms where fan creators, like the fan works, are not as well loved as, or like it's good that these fan things exist, but they're not like the most they're like, people like the original content. And I think for Warhammer, there's such a big part of the love that people have for it is in the community and in fan content. So again, I hope GW kind of learns this and corrects their course at this point. That they maybe reconsider their actions. Because if they reconsider, that's going to go a long way for me to making amends to me that they made a mistake, and they're not that they maybe aren't as, like, ruthless and cutthroat and are willing to damage their relationship with their fans this much. Hey, Russian Doomer, nice for you to drop by and join. I was actually thinking about wrapping up. I ain't finished with you yet, Space Marine. Space Marine. Yes, but I'm finished with you. Oh, it was 69 for a little while. Can we get 69? We got 68. Come on. Come on. Get one more. That's fine. Nice. Oh, I went down to 67. No. All right. Well, I appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me. I do think I'm going to wrap this up. I tend to make my streams about an hour and a half long. I think I said everything I wanted to say about this. I really appreciate all your guys' support. I appreciate the community that there has been, that everyone seems to have the same, that it has had a very emotional reaction to AlphaBusa's post. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if this can change. Let's see if we can get a nice conclusion to if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device. I hope this helped some of you guys. I hope people feel a little bit better. If you're still mad, it's all right. The world will keep on turning. And Proud Mary keep on burning. But thank you all once again for joining me for the stream. I hope I didn't ramble too much and talk a bunch of nonsense, but yeah, everyone, I think rewatching TTS in its entirety would be a nice thing to do. So let's get some Fs, in chat. All right, I'll see you guys. We'll get back to normal fun time videos. I just, like I said, it just took the wind out of my sails. I was just like, I can't put on the funny face and put on the smile and like pretend to be Kevon Jones. And even though I thought I could, I just can't. Not today. I'll have a weekend and then we'll get back to doing fun stuff until GW says I can't do that. All right. I'll see you guys. So long.